Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers!
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom.
Did you order the code red?
I did the job. Did you order the code red?
You're goddamn right I did!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this impromptu Saturday Alien Addict. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you all enjoyed the show last night. I say, where are the words? I'd like to say hello to all the new subscribers that were picked up lately. I can see some people in the chat that I've never seen before, so that's really nice. I didn't mention yesterday, if you want to support the channel, there's all the stuff you can do to support the channel downstage. You can be a channel member. You can do the patron thing that's there. What we'd really like to start doing is start trying to future-proof our like platform availability. We have only recently started plugging a Rockfin channel, so you know we know we've got a few thousand of yous out there in the subs for YouTube. So if you use Rockfin, like to go over and subscribe to our Rockfin channel, because the sooner you do that, the sooner we can start live streaming on Rockfin as well, and that just makes it a bit safe from the overlords, doesn't it? Without further ado, it is just I and David for the foreseeable future. Ollie's going to try and pop on a little bit later on, but he again otherwise engaged. He doesn't really get free time on Saturday nights, and it was kind of my idea to throw this around because like some weird stuff happened last night, didn't it? When we did the show with Ashton,
it's very X-Files, man.
It is very X-Files, isn't it? Like I found it so weird. Like when we wrapped that show last night, and I think if you go back and listen to that stream, we end the stream, and I think you can still hear Ashton in the back going, "Oh shit, Anonymous did do a video about me." Oh, sorry, Ollie. See, this is why you should be here, Ollie. I meant Rumble, not Rockfin. But you can go and subscribe to us on Rockfin, but would like you to go and start subscribe to us on Rumble as well. The link to that will be in the description. But yeah, like the fact that we had a guest on that's is like gaining such a profile as Ashton is doing, and not only that, while he was on the show, Anonymous drop a video about the research he's been doing. It's fucking wild, and it seemed stupid. It seemed stupid not to come and do a podcast about this tonight, or because it's the type of stuff that we would do a show on anyway, and we're like semi involved in this one as well.
I mean, we're at the periphery. We have front row seats. We have very good seats to what's going on.
That's a better way of putting it.
Yeah. We somehow ended up at that 50-yard line. You know what I mean? Or midfield, whatever. We're just kind of like, how did we get here? Kind of behind the coach's box and the players. We're not in the game. We're just sitting really close. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It's nuts, man. It's, the channels that were going after Ashton earlier in the evidence he's collected, right? I think that's the accurate way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't fare real well, even from their own subs. Like, they've taken a fucking beating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the anonymous video, last I checked, was 150,000 views and climbing.
Yeah, it's not, that hasn't worked well for those channels, and it's just strange. It's strange. I think when you consider like one of the last shows that Danny Jones did was about pyramid power plants, and there was people in the comments sort of popping up. Like I think I mentioned it last night, but I read it this afternoon. Someone else had obviously thought what I did. He's had some wild stuff on his podcast before, and he's never given anyone as the hard time that he gave Ashton. And I was trying to work it out today, and I thought to myself, I'd be interested to know what people in the comments think about this as well. Is there such a visceral reaction to this thing? Because even the debunkers on it know when they see it, there's a real chance that this is real. Even the people that don't necessarily believe in it, in the same way as if you're upstairs in bed and you hear like a noise downstairs and you get that, the stiffness in the back of your neck going, oh, I don't like this, I'm gonna have to go and see what's going on. Mm-hmm. You can convince yourself walking down the stairs, it's probably just the cat. Then there's another voice saying, you don't have a cat. Is that what's going on with these videos? Is it the noise downstairs for people?
You know what I think it is, and I think we talked about it last night. I don't know about the debunkers. Like I can't speak to that. I'm just normal people. Mm-hmm. Normal people see it. They want to believe it's fake. Anything that you can give them to think that it's fake, and the normies and sheep can go back to bed and everything's okay. Because the reality is that video represents something extraordinary. It represents something extraordinary. It represents something that will change the fabric of our world. It changes our understanding of reality, of physics, of gravity, of time, whatever that is.
Yeah.
It changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
It changes everything. That's the thing, is people are like, we need little green men on the lawn. You need a video like that. Doesn't matter if it's green men, doesn't matter if it's our tech. What it means is we are being lied to on a monumental scale. An unbelievable scale. Dude, the scale is so damn big that we just found out the government is recording all the skies at once. Real time. They listen to all the oceans. Everything is monitored. And then you got something like this going on that is dead silence and crickets. Mick West and all the others are out there dropping their whatever they think about it, their opinions. But on the other side, you have real physicists like Salvatore Pais and a couple of the other ones I don't want to mention. I know Ashton did to us. I just don't remember if it was on the show or not. So there's going to be more coming that way. And the people that I talk to that are big science nerds, when they see those videos, they think, well, that could be fake. And then you see them watch it again and again, and they're like, if that's not fake, you know what? Yeah, man. There's our X handles for everybody. Go check us out there. I don't know. I think most people don't want to face this reality. I think that's the truth. I've definitely been on that side. People, we want disclosures about what's really happening. I don't think people can take it.
I think you're probably right. It's always been the worry, hasn't it, is what would happen to society if there was aliens, or I don't know, some sort of breakaway civilization, or just an older civilization that's maybe escaped a cataclysm, went underground, kept developing while we were thrown back into the Stone Age. All you need to do is look at what happened in the pandemic, and what happened to people. Like, everyone went and bought toilet paper, and like that wasn't just like one country. That was like everywhere. Everywhere people ran and got toilet paper. They didn't buy food. Right? Newsflash: don't get the food. You're not going to need the toilet paper. It was really like that just showed that in extreme situations of stress, most people are useless.
This is true. I mean, the reality, again, this is presenting a case to reality, like, that it's not what you think. Gravity isn't what you think. Time, like, if it's affecting gravity, it's affecting time. Okay. You have balls that are moving Mach 3 to stopping at 500 miles an hour. That might as well be going Mach 2 to a dead stop. Nobody's inside that. They're perfectly controlled. Wow. The level of digital control. These things all come from different directions. They're enveloping it in some kind of envelope. It changes everything. This changes everything. If it's our technology, if it is human-derived technology that is being hidden, it is the greatest crime perpetrated upon humanity since the existence of the world. Like, this is, they are purposely holding us back in the in the Stone Age compared to what they can do. They can do magic, basically. And if it is non-human intelligence, and those cameras were already tracking because they had the Gray Eagle up and they're aware that it's going on, and they're constantly denying it to the public, and those people just got taken, then again, this is the greatest crime perpetrated against humanity on written record.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I was thinking about it today, and the problem is because that we are now in the realm of just of total conjecture when it comes to like the reason behind what happened to that plane. And I almost feel like it's a disservice doing the usual conspiracy theory talk about it, because Ashton's put so much good work into the science of it, into the finding the facts, finding the satellites. There's been so much real world investigation gone in that, even finding the people that, or the person that could have leaked the videos in the first place. But there has to be a point where you go, right, well, that's all there anyway, and all we can do is speculate now. And what I was wondering, because the thought's always been, they must have done it because they put something there to record it happening. So the idea that I was thinking about this afternoon, it would have to be a test, I think, if that was the case, because if it was tech that was in service, that doesn't happen. That it's just like, send the teleport drones and go and save those engine people, please. Why watch it? It's I mean, my car's pretty cool. I like my car. I don't know how it works. I don't film it when I drive away because I drive it every single day. There's no need for me to document driving a vehicle. So what if it wasn't, and what if they were told it was going to happen? If there was some sort of breakaway civilization or from a foreign nation, and it was a vulgar display of power.
I've thought about that. A lot. Like, the shadow sphere, shadow dome that we live in. that, you know, we only perceive so much of the electromagnetic frequency around us. Our understanding of electromagnetic frequencies and realities, honestly, it's very, we're children, right? We're children playing with large concepts. Even the people are like, I'm an expert, and you're not. You're an expert that kind of is aware of magic, but you don't really understand it, right? Like, you can't replicate it. You're just cutting your teeth on it a little bit more than the rest of us. If it was a show of force, I hope it was heated. You know what I mean? I hope that message sounded through. But as a show of force to what? On that specific instance, who are they making that display for? Why are they watching all the skies and oceans simultaneously? It's just such a huge thing to do. Like, whoa, we got to be safe for nuclear attack. Let's relax on that for a moment. Why are you really doing it?
Yeah.
And then why are you not talking about it? Right.
I suppose the idea would be that to have the high ground in any sort of military situations always advantageous. So
yeah, but human intelligence wins the day.
Yeah, Intel's king in that situation. But I don't know if this has anything to do with what we're talking about. But it's quite an interesting thing. A friend of mine, he was an ex Marine. He left the armed forces and went to do private security work. And for a while, he went like looking after oil tankers and stuff like that, doing that sort of thing. Yeah. He was on the largest oil tanker in the world for a while. And he was saying like bizarre things, because I obviously, like, being into the stuff I'm into, of course I asked him, have you seen anything weird? What's weird there? And he hadn't seen anything weird, apart from the fact he said there's vast areas of ocean. He said that we can't go through. He said they're not part of shipping lanes. He said it's not because, you know, there's other tankers going through that you could hit or something like that. He said there is just huge squares. He said from where you are past the horizon that you can't sail through. And he said it would be quicker if we could sail through it. And it was that means it would save these companies money if we could sail through it, because you're using less fuel, you're getting to your destination faster, and we can't sail through them. He said, and I haven't got a fucking clue why.
See, that's a good mystery. Why? Like, can't or won't?
Yeah.
Yeah. It does lead, like, if there's a breakaway civilization, where would they be, underground or in the water? Why would they hide from us? If you're technologically advanced, they have no need to hide from us. They have no fear of us. If they're able to move underwater, like, whoa.
It's the smart thing to do, though, isn't it? That if let's say there was a room in your house full, like, you couldn't just kill them because you're a nice person. Let's pretend for a second.
Yeah, okay.
Let's
go to imagination land.
Yeah.
Right.
And in that room was a room full of angry mice. And they didn't pose any, like, physical threat to you, but, you know, if you go in there, one of them could run up your leg and, like, bite your ankle or something like that, or you could trip over one, or you could squash one accidentally and make your shoes mucky. You just choose not to go in that room. If you weren't going to do something about them, and they were going to live their little mice lives all on their own, then you just close the door and you never go in the place. So it would just be a smart thing for a more advanced culture to do, is just to go, we're better than mixing shit with these people. One of us, you know, they're going to kill a couple of us if we get into some sort of skirmish. Let's just, like, cut the assholes out of the cows and fuck with them a bit.
That could be the best part. We don't know. Yeah, it's, you know, the underwater phenomenon, right? The unidentified underwater objects that are, you know, most UFOs, you know, they're over these huge bodies of water, the ones the military encountering. It's
Do you know what the funny thing was? Like when I was a kid, in the 90s, I've always loved conspiracy theories. Always. Like is from the youngest I can remember, the first thing I remember doing when I think it was like the Antarctica, like the old like CD-ROM encyclopedia you used to get for things, and they had the moon landing video on it, and then there was like a little short excerpt of the Antarctic thing which explained that there was also a conspiracy theory that we never went to the moon, and that's like one of the first things I remember like reading. Just like the first thing I remembered reading was the moon landings were fake, and when UFOs were massive in the 90s, the USOs were big, and I always remembered when there was like I was watching Unsolved Mysteries or I was trying to find documentaries about conspiracy theories and stuff. I'd always get really upset when it was USOs because I just didn't find like submerged objects as sexy as flying objects. And now I think to myself, motherfucker,
they're more sexy.
They're more sexy, and they're also the same things that are in the air. Like the ones in the water are the same things that are in the air, and they probably come from the water. You probably should have been looking at the water.
This is something I've been thinking about. Steven Spielberg made E.T. Right? Okay. We have the Mexican little mummy things, which hell of a lot like E.T. Well, here's the other thing. What else did Steven Spielberg make? What water movie? No,
Dinosaurs are real.
Huh? Dinosaurs are real. No, seriously, what water movie did he make?
The Abyss. The Abyss.
The Abyss with the underwater aliens that live down there and waters their technology.
That is being re-released with alternate footage to it.
It's starting to get interesting, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't know where he got information, if he's just pulling that intuitively. But yeah, USOs are definitely the sexier of the two. The fact that they can, they disregard air. Okay, well, we can wrap our heads around that. They disregard water. They'll move it, multiple, Mach 2 underwater. What? No sonic boom? What's going on? So something lives in our oceans. Makes me think that we vastly outnumber them. Or we are free range. Like they're, maybe they're the equivalent of space Mormons. We're the Indians. You know what I mean? They're just not interested in converting us. They're just trying to live their own thing. I guess that wouldn't be space Mormons then. What Mormons? They go door to door.
Yeah.
What would that be? It'd be like the Amish.
Space
Amish.
Yeah. Which is a fabulous future sci-fi film, I might add.
Space Amish. Unbelievably advanced, godlike magical technology, but for them is just enough. They're not really modern. What the fuck are we then? Stone Age. You're Stone Age. Space Amish. That should have been the title of this. Space Amish.
I think it's less search engine optimized
now.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. Gasper, yeah. James Cameron was the Abyss. Sorry. Well pointed out.
Oh, James Cameron. Yeah, that's on me. I thought they did the same. I don't really care. I'm going to still roll with it like we didn't make that flub. That's because out of that we got Space Amish.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, no one else pulled us up for it, Gaza. So you could have just left it.
Could have just let us roll with that. We're not fact checky here. No, seriously, though, good call, good catch.
Who made Cocoon? There's another.
The old people.
They came from the deep. You've got you've got making old people young and aliens in the sea in that one. That's hitting two of the conspiracy pies.
What about Waterworld? Just because I like it.
I think that is a realistic warning about climate change.
Whole reversal, maybe. That was the cities had flipped themselves thing.
Is that what happened in Waterworld? Was it
Mhm.
I thought it was the ice shelves melted.
So that happened, but they also couldn't figure out where dry land was mapped to. I always took it that dry land was like Antarctica, like that, like it had flipped. So like when you're reading the map directions, like, oh, that's not right, and the guy turns when he looks at the girl's back upside down. Like this is the first time he ever looked at the map upside down, which I thought was weird. Whatever. I also thought it was weird that it was, inked in Chinese, and I believe, or some other Asian language. Looked like Chinese, to me, because it all does. But they also had like Time magazines in English. It's just like people read everything. You live on a floating hub. I would figure that would be like the first thing to die. It's paper books. That ain't making it in the water world. Somehow you're keeping up the written language. What?
Yeah, but they didn't work out a good way, like drinking their own piss. Oh, it was Ron Howard did Cocoon. Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, Ronnie. Got a weird looking brother. Huh. Yeah, no, it I don't know. I was also thinking of Waterworld because that chick that's in it.
I can't remember. It's been so long since I watched that film.
Yeah. It's like all Kevin Costner films. It's got a lot of Kevin Costner in it.
I like Kevin Costner.
A lot.
I like Kevin Costner.
Like a little bit of Kevin Costner.
I don't think there's enough.
You've clearly never seen The Mailman. You'll get all that Kevin Costner. Back to Space Amish. That's fantastic. Maybe they are, or they're the breakaway civilization. I mean, these are the kind of things I'm come to. The Department of Energy.
Good segue.
Has,
well done.
Thank you. It's classy. I thought it was subtle.
Yeah.
But for all the new people here, that's how we do things here. We don't just slip it in. We ram it home.
Yeah. With nothing but a courtesy lick.
Not even that. I don't care where it lands either. If I feel give, it's going in. At least we make ourselves laugh. I totally forgot where I was going with it. No, yeah. So the things I've starting to come around to. One, I've had this for a while, and you know that is that if there was a craft that was uncovered, anything that was uncovered, I keep saying craft, whatever it is that they found. Nazis found it. They lost that war. We took the smart Nazis. Smart Nazis infiltrated all the Western countries. They were made aware that this technology exists. Everyone started hoarding it for themselves. And as far as the U.S. goes, I would say that most of that technology is at Department of Energy sites because that's where labs are. That's where nuclear material is held, nuclear waste is held, and all the advanced research that goes on. It's all compartmentalized. People don't talk to each other. Everybody there is security. It's a nightmare. So I think that's there. And the other thing I'm coming around to is something's living in the damn oceans.
I always bring this up. We've got new viewers in the chat as well. So maybe one of those might have caught this as well. There was a National Geographic thing, might have been a History Channel thing.
Cameron built the deepest submersible. FYI, that's from Gaza. Thank you.
There was an underwater photographer. I forget his name, and it's really difficult. If you do some searching, you can properly find this, like the quote from him. But it's really hard to find now. It's one of those things that Google has clearly made difficult for people to come across. So there was he was a underwater photographer, mega famous for the stuff he was doing. In fact, I think if I remember rightly, you know that there's a really famous underwater photograph of a woman swimming like up like pitch black water towards a light. I think he took that. And right at the end of this documentary, he just threw out, and when I was like doing like deep sea photography, I found an intelligent species of bipedal hominids that have technology that live in the bottom of the ocean, and it literally ended like that. Just that was it. And I remember going, "Hey, what? Excuse me?" And I rewound it again. I just took it for granted that the internet wasn't going to start purging stuff off itself. I cannot find that documentary for the life of me, but I know it happened, and you can still find the written quotes somewhere if you spend a couple of hours. I'll have to do it one day because I bring it up now and again. I will spend like a day and I will find that clip. I will find it. But
it's the deep old ones.
But it was really weird because it was a legit. It wasn't like the fucking mermaid mockumentary or something like that. You know, the
That's
Animal
pretty
Planet
good.
did. It was good fun. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong.
Fun, yeah.
Or like the Megalodon one or something like that. It
Yeah.
was just a legitimate. This guy takes pictures underneath the water, and he's dead good at it. And then at the end, he goes, "Oh yeah, and I met the fish people. Peace."
It would make sense. I mean, the Pope's hat is basically a fish mouth. Like fish god worship was a big thing. Sumerians talk about the fish people coming out of the ocean and teaching them farming and language and building. I'd be curious, are they fish? Because that's the thing though. Like if they live in the ocean, they're probably predatory, especially if they live down deep, right? Scavengers are predatory. You ever seen sharks eat birds off the water?
Yeah, unless here he is though.
Our wayward child.
I got into bed on my own. Who needs a wife? Yeah.
Wow.
They have certain benefits. They have certain benefits.
There's an admission. I hope she doesn't watch this.
I'll just say I may not stay for long because if I want one of those benefits, I'll have to jump off at some point because I'm away this week.
Ollie tries to make it sound like professional. He's actually he's sent his wife out. Wife out as a lady of the night, providing.
I've been
for the
listening
family.
though, boys. I've been listening to
Space Amish.
Space Amish, yeah. You have
Amish
me.
aliens.
That's when I thought I'm gonna have to drop everything here. Get to bed. Get to bed. I need to get on.
Yeah, it's like I need to make sure the wheels don't fall off this.
She's like, what the hell are they talking about? Space Amish? We're just getting this channel up and going.
I can't get over that it happened last night. There's one
That's
thing
what the lube
with,
was for, buddy.
Yeah. There's one thing though and I said this to
He
you,
works
Lee,
hard for the money.
when I said I'm going to try and get on. The anonymous usually sits back and waits or drops something that we don't know about. Or that we're already kind of wired onto, but we're asking questions about it. Whoever's behind Anonymous has watched this develop, has seen the debunks.
How wild is it that they didn't even tell Ashton they were doing it?
Well, I also would argue that whatever or whoever Anonymous is was also aware of the normal end time for our shows.
That's nice to know.
Because you got to think our show started just after the concrete fiasco. So we rode that wave. And then as soon as we're finishing up, that launches.
Yeah. Just for our audio listeners, when this comes out on a podcast, Paul Tucker just put a comment up saying Alessandro's earliest interview, he mentioned a book called Chains of the Sea, which would be an absolute belt and band name, by the way, as being the closest to what's going on. He never said it again, and it was about an underwater civilization. Well, we've had rumors of it. You look at rumors of Atlantis. Yeah, that's so baked into modern culture. But those small hands have big dreams.
Yeah, they do. Small hands are good. They're desirable. It always looks bigger in small hands. You know, it's the goal.
Okay.
No, man, I like Space Amish. I think Space Amish is like a brutal metal band. You know, just
Never gonna get old.
yeah, Space Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely something in the seas. I would say if they're in our seas, they're probably not extraterrestrial. They're probably developed first.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, the caveat to that would be if you were extraterrestrials and you had like the technology to get here, and you thought, right, well, we're going to set up for a while. You know, we're not going anywhere. You would do it in the sea if you wanted to stay away from people, especially if it was some sort of like science project where you didn't want to interfere with us.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, the seas are 70% of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
They're 70%. They own the majority of the planet. We are the minority stock.
Well, you boys know why I got into this in the first place. When my dad telling me about the UFO out at sea, I think he even told you, Lee, when you
Yes.
briefly around at the house. Something went straight, like from one end of the horizon to the other, in like a second. So seconds, he said. So I mean, did it come from the sea though? In the first place, I have no idea, but it shot over the sea.
Mm-hmm. I thought.
Yeah, I'm with you, boys. I think that's probably where if it's going to hide somewhere, that's the best place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know anything. Like that's the only givens. We know nothing.
Nobody does,
right?
Dave.
We have no idea. Yeah.
Nobody does.
All's I can try and do is interpret what information's put out there. And what's put out there is to me, I believe the videos are real. Someone had said in chat that it was amazing, and I'm sorry we're not giving you credit for it because I saw it earlier and I'm only getting to it now, that these videos have been out there for years. And anyone who looks at them, I'm sure I saw them at some point, and I was just like, oh, that looks like obviously CGI. Somebody dove into it to prove how not CGI it is.
Truth Soldier. I think it's crazy how long these videos have been on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that's long to. Oh my word! I think it's crazy how long those videos have been on the internet. Somebody that's long to actually make a story or start off. Sorry, it wasn't
that it's so what it is
yeah,
saying that it took somebody that long to
put the
make
words together.
Yeah, somebody that actually put everything together like Ashton did. And you're right, Ashton and the people on Reddit that did it is fantastic. And at this point in my mind, I'm definitely on the team that it's real, which I've thought a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
It's unsettling because that level of display is a true big dick in the locker room move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's undeniable.
Well, I think there's an interesting thing when it comes to film like CGI with this, and there's almost a there's a sense of when you're seeing something which is manufactured, no matter how good it looks, and I don't get that with these films. I remember watching a documentary a while ago about how the CGI affects the human brain even when you don't realize it's there. Like there's something off, for instance, about the opening scene of Sleepy Hollow when the guy's riding in, because essentially that whole lake is added afterwards. And it looks great. It looks photorealistic, but there's just something with your brain that goes, there's something there that is off to what I'm used to seeing about how things are displayed. And the big one was the Hulk. And this guy did a survey of whether people thought there was like one scene in the Hulk, and he took like a 10-second clip of the first terrible Hulk film that came out, not like the 80s
Edward
TV
Norton
show.
one.
Yeah, no, the one before that.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
And then he took a pictures from like whatever the Avengers was at the time, and of like the Avengers one obviously looked infinitely better. Everybody preferred the early 2000s Hulk version because the only thing that was CGI in that film was the Hulk. Everything else was practical effects done in, I think it was, where in America's the big hill? It's in every film. Come on, Dave. Is it San Francisco? San Francisco.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, go on, Dave. You know America.
I've been to that hill. I have pictures there with my family. Interestingly enough. Yeah. I switched back roads. Yeah.
He was explaining, it's because the only thing CGI in that is the Hulk. Everything else you see, all the people, all the cars blown up, all the damage, was actually done as practical effects. Whereas everything you see in the Avengers is a cartoon. It's just a really good looking cartoon. Mm-hmm. And it creates a disconnect. And those videos don't create that disconnect with my head. That's why I take one look at them and go, I think they're real. Whereas that's my disconnect with like the Skinny Bob thing, for instance. I take one look at that and I'm 99% convinced that is CGI.
Yeah. See, I would disagree with you on some of Skinny Bob. I think I do think there's something in there. I think there is a section in that, and that's obviously another show.
But you disagreed with us on the MH370 thing too.
I did.
Yeah. You're not batting well for disagreeing with us.
You're batting a 0.
So I'm willing to say that if somebody, and I think Ashton's got a really good point here, because I watched Concrete Podcast, the debunk bit again today. Mm-hmm. When I was cooking dinner for the kids. So I was half watching, but I was listening. And one thing that stood out to that Ashton said was, I expected like a recreation of this. You know, if that's what he was saying last night, he expected a recreation because everybody expected the build up to this. We were expecting the big recreation that everybody's been asking for. Yes. We haven't had that, and
no one's even attempted it.
No, and it was 2014. So to be fake in 2014 would say, well, now it's been what, nearly 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes some texts come by now that we have access to that would probably make it a lot easier to do now.
Yes,
and the fact that nobody's done it still.
Mm-hmm.
I find weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I said to Ashton on the show last night, and I've said this to both of you two. There is this part of me that that thinks that the second piece of footage was created by the government, that government, to in case of this.
I think you'd know. I think it would be obvious that they don't match. But...
The first one, I don't agree with what they're saying with, like, I mean, Stephen Cambion sent me footage saying the clouds don't move. I do think they move a little bit, but I mean, even it's so fast, that clip.
Yeah, but it's the same as like when you're in the when you're in a plane, especially if you're on a long haul flight and you look at the sea and the waves don't look like they're moving properly. No, the waves look like they're moving in slow motion. You know, to me, it's a ridiculous argument that for such a short thing.
You know what I put. Where my so what this is, like, you bringing up Steven. I got nothing against Steven. They're trying to figure it out like everybody else, right? So here comes in the thing.
He's actually not doing the video any day.
Okay.
To be fair.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying he did or he didn't. Like, that's the point I'm making is Salvatore Pais. He's a real person. He has patents. He worked for the Air Force, the Navy, Space Force. He's filed patents on behalf of them. He has a deeper understanding of this material than any other cursory. And you guys know I'm not one for elitism or academia or just because you have these letters, but with certain things, you have to have a working knowledge of it, right? You have to. This guy does. And as we know, because Ashton had told us, I don't think it was on the show. Other people potentially may be coming into play, and he's talked to other people. I know I've talked to other people. All those other people that are into that kind of science, when they see that, they go, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. It makes sense that it's cold. You know, I remember when we watched it for the first time, and we were trying to figure out if we thought it was real or not, and I'd pointed out that, hey, this is a thermal camera. That's white hot, black cold. That flash is cold, not hot. I didn't understand why, but it makes more sense now that I've educated myself a little bit to it. The weird thing about the debunks and the attacks that come against this footage, people try and pull it. And I get it. It's people seen one too many cop movies or one too many interrogation movies. So they've known too many cops, and it's a very simplistic method of interrogation. And being a detective, you look for a loose strand and you start pulling at it for everything to unravel. The problem is people find, well, this could potentially be a loose strand. Is it a loose strand that's actually exists, or is it a loose strand because you don't have the technical understanding to know why it is in fact not loose? And then when someone sees, ooh, I can poke at this, it's all fake, and that's it, and they're done. It didn't make sense. You know, everything extraordinary can be explained by ordinary means. It doesn't mean it's not extraordinary. And it doesn't mean that, you know, they're the same. You know, correlation doesn't equal causality. So
there's a really easy way, you know, I was thinking about this the other today. There would be a really easy way to debunk the thermal image if somebody could try it, and the fact that nobody's tried it suggests they kind of know it wouldn't work anyway. And it all revolves around that the explosion, you know, what's supposed to be the asset. So I think on the Concrete podcast, he said they'd inverted it, they'd inverted the colors on it, you know, they made it darker, they took stuff out and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if you've got an expert in film, you should be able to take the original asset and recreate that explosion with 100% accuracy. You should be able to alter that effect to look like the effect on that video with 100% accuracy.
Yeah, it should be 100%. If it's the same stock image that's been resized, you should be able to
you would just be able to fuck with it to the point where it would become that.
And that's one of the things I thought was should be easier to understand than I guess it was for people. Is people like, well, it's close enough. If it is used image, if that is the stock image, it will not be close. It will be exact. It needs to be exact. Because the reality is every blast pattern, every shock wave, every ripple is a circle. It's not that hard to find them. This is interesting. Supposedly Julian is going to drop another podcast with more Nico debunk on it. Yeah, Julian is going to drop it, huh? Not Danny.
I think it's coming out on the Corridor Crew. They're going to do more. Like they did like a full debunk thing apparently that they're going to put on their channel tomorrow.
I want them to remake it perfectly, like literally perfectly.
But they debunked the military footage, right? Like the original of footage that was left of the Tic Tacs. Everyone's like, that's fake. They did a debunk on that.
Yeah.
That's military footage. It's not a debunk.
Yeah. The funny thing with that would be it'll just be a bone of contention now, and what will happen is the people like us that think this is real, just no matter what they say, we won't believe it because this
is critical to the argument.
They haven't got the information to debunk it properly. For instance, they said, well, you wouldn't see the contrails. It wasn't contrails; it was a fire. That's what Ashton thinks it was. It was a fire. The thermal image isn't a thermal image. I can't remember what Ashton said it was. But you know they basically say that.
Thank you.
They're comparing that thermal with like consumer grade thermal optics, and it's
not even that, dude. Not even that. Like they're not comparing it to consumer grade thermal optics from 2014. Now I am in the thermal optics game. I am in the night vision game.
Yeah,
I have these things.
Pages on it here as well. She said, Nico thought it was daytime.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's looking at.
But the problem is, I personally don't believe. I will watch the Corridor Crew thing. And for whatever reason it is, I don't believe that they put any work into that debunk. No work whatsoever, because it was all the stuff that Mick West has already put out.
Yeah.
They just hit the checklist, because you could see, and I think Ashton would probably agree with me, if he was on the show now. You could almost see a wry smile on his face when this happened.
Well, yeah, but they used that. Dorian used that. Is it Dorian? He used that.
It's like a gotcha thing.
As he showed the clip of him smiling before he went on concrete, and to make him look awkward, like he's in an awkward moment.
Yeah. But it was because
he's already. This is the debunk.
Yeah,
he's the same one that I've seen.
Already answered all that. Yeah. Instead of pumping their things, we just need to refer to them as thing 1 and thing 2. But
the thing, we've done stuff on this channel. I mean, we for heaven's sake, we had Billy Meyer's best mate on the show, and Lee ripped him a new bumhole. So it's not as if we don't sometimes go against the grain.
Listen, he didn't storm off. He had a yoga class to get to.
Yeah, I've got to get to yoga.
Yeah, we've all been there.
But
have we?
The point is, and this is what people are just not getting through their heads. Nobody's remade this, and until that happens, until somebody remakes that perfectly by also using that piece of stock footage and making that piece of stock footage look exactly like that. And I don't know the guy who's the CGI guys? What they're called again?
Corridor crew.
Okay. Corridor crew said that whoever did this is talented as a talented person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like super talented.
But you know what they were
why
doing
use
there?
a piece of why get if they can make the orbs things do that sort of rotational movement around that plane,
why not make a
like they did
effect? Yeah.
Why not make a bespoke effect? Yeah.
Yeah. And exactly. to speak exactly to that, so Juby the Ville, I don't know. If Corridor Crew is insufficient in opinion, then I would try asking Steve Williams, the guy who made the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. I want you to think about what we're jumping to here to try and discredit something that, if it was fake, was made by an amateur on the fly. All right, let's focus on that. You want to ask somebody who did some of the best CGI work in 2 decades that put the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. If he can't give an explanation, he might know someone who better than can. Think of what we're having to do now.
Yeah.
We're asking for like an interpretation of the law and having, well, let's go to the Supreme Court justice and see what they think. If they don't know, they'll know another justice. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then that goes to my argument that if, and I'm literally like, I'm 90% in your corridor, but that 10% is that if it is and this is what the people are not thinking about. This is what the debunkers are not thinking about. If it's fake, then it's fucking dangerous. Whoever's done this, whoever's put that out, has got a fucking load of money that's done that back down to do it so quickly. When that,
I think that's what I go back to, and I wouldn't know again. So this is not me speaking from any particular place of expertise. It's not just like a software thing, which wouldn't be like, it's not like today where you can just go and download Blender for free or download Unreal Engine or something like that, which you could work in. It's also having something with the processing power in it. Mm-hmm. We've only really got now to the point where you can buy like maybe an £800 like laptop or PC laptop or like a £1,500 MacBook, which has got enough juice in it to do some fucking really serious like number crunching when it comes to visual effects. It's always been a case of like, you could play videos on a computer, but if you tried to go and do something like render things in 3D, your PC would all of a sudden sound like it was trying to take off.
So Lee, my Mac, I bought that. The one that I've just replaced because it just won't work anymore for even the simplest of edits. It still works perfectly, but the stuff that I'm trying to do on these tiny little edits at the beginning, it just doesn't work. The new one's fine. the one that was state of the art at the time, a state of the art Mac was 2013, and that struggles with pretty much everything now when it comes to me video editing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what's commercially available. So like if this would have had to be special order, special build, you're talking some hobbyist. And I mean hobbyists are out there with this kind of equipment, I am very sure.
Mm-hmm.
They did the best job out there. They did a job out there that, leading physicists, not only that, they had an understanding of physics and what it would be, right? They have an understanding of what a wormhole would do. It wouldn't be hot. It wouldn't be an explosion. All right. It'd be endothermic. It would take all that energy out because it has to accept energy and mass through it. That's some detailed thinking, man. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying a fake isn't possible. I'm saying it is unbelievably unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
It's about as unlikely as a high schooler getting 4 virgins in a row, 4 nights in a row, just after prom. It's not happening.
I think that's what would always make the idea of recreation. The recreation should be an easier task because you're giving somebody inspiration to do it. So it's not just the technical know-how of how to do it. I am not artistic in the slightest.
Autistic?
I mean, I score highly there.
Yeah,
but
that's what I thought.
yeah,
What?
but I'm not artistic in the slightest. If someone gives me a load of pens and a blank piece of paper, I look at a blank piece of paper and I still see a blank piece of paper. I do not have that ability in me to go and think of a house and begin to draw the house. It's just not in my mapping, and I'm immensely jealous of anybody out there that has an artistic flair like that. So, like I say, that's it's not just the technical knowledge of how to do it; it's the inspiration to go and do it as well. And then, like you say, then it's the IQ out there to go and do the research to find out all the things that would make it appear.
Yeah, so in the chat, Paul Robinson has said, my PC in 2014 had 32 cores. I'm a 3D professional. It was 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we call a bottleneck to this, right? So it's got to be a professional who's willing to do it and willing to do it such amazingly high standards that, every other debunk person that's come on is like, oh, that's actually quite good. Like a serious, but I think it's this and this and this and this, and then we're going to blow off, but we're not going to recreate it or do it. And then someone said if it was AI footage, that's a whole other fascinating rabbit hole. If it was AI footage, that means they had very good AI in 2014. That means that AI is currently running the world. Yeah, so that's kind of game, set, match, right?
And that's kind of my point behind this. That's where I sit with this. If it's fake, the fake is just as shocking. Well, maybe not as shocking, but still shocking because we already know that the deep state government, whatever, fuck about with us. So
they were watching the show last night.
Yeah. And that's where I kind of sit. If it's fake, it's that kind of fake. It's not some guy in his bedroom that's just done it for shits and giggles.
I would like it to be fake. I would like it to be fake. I do not think it is, but I would like it to be fake because this is the thing. I think most people are still like, I get it. I don't think people do. We're talking about replacing all means of power. Your coal plant gone, natural gas plant gone, nuclear gone, wind farm, solar gone. We don't need any of it. You're going to have small package facilities that provide all the power at virtually free, right? It's going to be unbelievably cheap. The superconducting materials change everything in technology that you can fathom. Everything changes unbelievably fast. I mean, faster than anything we've ever seen in history. And we've been moving fast these past 150 years, right? It's nothing compared to what these things represent and mean, let alone teleportation. Not to mention teleportation, according to people smarter than myself, which I was trying to get on tonight. Unfortunately, I don't think he can. I think he's working because he hasn't checked the message. And
that would be great though if we got. I think if we got maximum with Ashton.
they're having a little talk in the chat about maybe the AI was involved, and someone said AI can't even make thermal video properly. Forget AI.
100%.
AI can't do thumbs properly.
Hands, feet. Yeah, it's weird. Faces too are still look off.
Yeah, I mean I can get one out to them, but it's hard.
Yeah, they get a fresh one from Peru. Yeah, everything changes, man. Like that's the thing no one wants to focus on. Like teleportation, that, as I was explained to me, would prove that this is some form of a simulation, not like the Matrix, not that we're all asleep in a game, but this physical 3D world that's governed by these sets of laws was a creation, and it is being projected from quantum space, whatever the hell that is. And that they're using those principles and understanding to cheat that and do basically, like in a video game, fast travel, instantaneous travel. Changes everything, man.
The guy was saying about the PC in the comments, also pointing out that stereoscopic clouds would be really difficult in 2014.
I think the whole thing would be damn difficult. But I'm not a thing. I didn't see any special effects from back then that looked that good. You know, I didn't see from movies that I saw, and I figured the most would be spent on those movies, right? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I lean towards it, unfortunately, and I mean this, unfortunately, being real. So then you have to look at, is it a breakaway human civilization? Is it something else? Is it an ultra-dimensional, extra-dimensional creature? Is it someone from Venus? I mean, those are all scary thoughts, because we're not apex predators anymore. And they're technologically advanced well beyond us. You know what happens when those two things meet with the indigenous population? Look at the history books. Indigenous population gets screwed. Literally. Against its will.
I still think the rise of this thought behind resets and like cataclysms, that's the scary thing to me. I find that more scary than anything else. The idea that there is, it's even more so than some sort of like predator coming down, or like the just something coming around saying, look, we like what you've got on your planet, we're probably going to take your planet, so we're just going to get rid of you. But the idea that we didn't know, none of us have ever known this, but there's an expiration date on civilization, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Correct.
That is terrifying.
Correct. So we're going to be talking about this tomorrow on our regular scheduled show, Joshua. We have a guy coming in. We'll be talking about religion, Nephilim, technology. It's going to be fantastic.
I will run the intro for tomorrow, if that's okay, Ollie, as a little primer for what we're talking about.
It's not out yet. I've not finished it.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not.
Come on, Ollie. Come on.
There's just the thumbnail. That's it.
Yeah, it's a good thumbnail. Paul Stobbs is coming on from Understanding Conspiracies. His theory is that ancient civilizations came up with the image of a clown, jester, the things that you hear people seeing when they're taking like high dose psychedelics. These entities, he believes they are what Nephilim are. They derive, demons. They're the same thing. He's been on a few podcasts I've listened to. Guy's fascinating. He's currently writing a book, and
I'll be honest with you, Lee.
Super excited for this show.
Until so, when you told me about this, I was kind of like, "What? Nephilim clowns?" And now that I've listened to, I think I must be about.
Sounds wild, doesn't it? Then you listen, start listening, and go, "Whoa, hang on a second."
He's making sense. He's making a lot of sense.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like some of the, I'm not going to spoil anything for tomorrow's show. I'm not, but yeah, it's crazy. And I think when people watch tomorrow's show, as much as that title, Nephilim Clowns, sounds crazy, I think they'll get it.
Yeah, I do.
I think this comment reflects that indigenous get screwed, but also interbred with invading concrete groups. That's how we got that Nephilim. And we'll find out about that tomorrow. I think that's also how we got the RH bloodlines.
I was just going to say that's how.
RH negatives, yeah, that's already happened.
That's my mum.
It's probably you dink, tiny hands.
I have no idea what I am.
Neither do we.
No, yeah, we don't either. Believe me, there's a whole message group set up to that. It is, we've gotten nowhere.
In case you have to dive off, Ollie, just give me 2 minutes. I'm going to go get myself a beverage while you're here, so I don't have to leave Dave on his own if you disappear.
Oh, thank God. I would just stare at these people awkwardly,
directly in the eye.
Look me in the eye. Spit in my mouth. Yeah, man, it's
wild how this has come together, though. It's
X-Files, man. It's very X-Files.
I don't believe in synchronicities, but like,
yes, you do.
No, I guess I do, don't I?
Hell yeah, you
do. I didn't believe in synchronicities, but if I tell people about the synchronicities, they'll unsubscribe. I'll talk about
these
that.
people are cool, man. They're figuring out what kind of freaks we are.
I do find it.
Tell them about 33. Go ahead.
I see 33 all the time. Yeah,
he does.
I have no idea why. Absolutely none. But it's there. So that's why it's in the intro. There is the number 33 in the intro. But yeah, the fact that anonymous, and I can't say that word, anonymous very well. Anonymous? They dropped that while we were doing that show. I just found
they did it to the end of the show. Like normally we would have already been done. It's pretty rare we hit a 3-hour mark.
Yeah, and I don't think it's like, oh, he's aware of us and just thought, I'll drop it at this point. I just think there's synchronicities in life that, I mean, I kept saying all week, I wonder if Concrete's they're gonna drop the show just before our show.
They did, and I don't believe in chance. I don't believe in chance at all. That was a great show.
As our show started.
Yeah. One of the interesting things is, like, and I know we talked about it privately, and we talked about it a little bit on the show yesterday, but I think it should be expanded upon. All these channels started coming after Ashton personally about his mental health, about that he's mentally unwell, that he's.
Yep.
We've spent some time talking to him. I mean, we haven't held each other in the shower or anything, or gone hand in hand down the beach, but we have spent time talking to him.
We have held each other a little bit.
I don't want to talk about that. That's what the video is for. But he's not mentally unwell. He seems pretty sound. He seems very determined. Yeah, it was weird that was the immediate tact. Like it was these weird, very coordinated. We're using the same lines. Let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about third-hand embarrassment, how torn apart he was. And then when even their own fans watch those shows, they're like, what the hell are you people doing?
That's what
this
they did
how
with
you
David
treat
Grush.
a guest. Huh?
That's what they did with David Grush. They brought his mental health in. They brought his high functioning autism in, which to me, I just think that's even more of a reason to give the guy the fucking job in the first place.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking high functioning, very high functioning. Yeah, I mean, I when they bring people's the thing is though, he hasn't got any mental health issues either.
No, and that's why I think it was important that we got him to relax on our show the way he did, laughing and cutting up a little, because when he's on those, he's very much on, and it makes sense that because he's kind of in a hostile environment, it's very much out of X-Files. It's very nuts. This whole thing's been a little nuts. I'm glad that we got new people. I'm glad that 92 of you are watching right now. It would mean the world to us if you like the show. Share the show on X. Share it with your friends if you think it's funny. Check out some of our back shows that we've done that are funny. Some that are not so funny. Oh, there he is. We got to stop talking about him.
You just You just said some that are not so funny, so you're
And then here he is.
Clearly not talking about me because I'm hilarious.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we're really going at this thing, and like,
So she said.
I mean, you've been lining guests up left, right, and center all into next year.
Oh, so yeah, we're good till I think we've got 1 week free in March that I have a guest for, but I need to wait till the 1st of next
We're
month.
keeping December clear, aren't we?
December's clear. We're not doing anything in December because it's Christmas time and stuff like that. So we can just hang out like this. We're still gonna hang out.
We are doing shows. We are doing shows every week, but
yeah. And yeah, then we're gonna go hard for the first 2 months of next year. See where we go with the guests. I want to get some. Hopefully I'm going to get some more emails back from people, but some of the trails have gone cold. Some of the trails have gone cold on people, but yeah, it's all gonna be good.
Yeah, it'll happen. We'll find some. You know what we need? We need some abductees. People who have had some kind of. That would be
you've
good.
Been abducted, we want to know, but we want a good story.
I'd like
a real.
I'd like to speak to though. I'd like to speak to somebody because I
like a mental health professional.
I mean, preferably. I'm not convinced that abductees are zipped off into spaceships. I'm not even convinced that whatever's going on have like physical craft, nuts and bolts craft, like we think of machines. I'm not sold on space cars. But maybe the Space Amish wouldn't have space cars.
Space Amish wouldn't have space cars.
And I know we've had some abductees on over the previous shows, and the problem with speaking to abductees is there's real trauma there. So it's real trauma that you don't necessarily know if it's just like normal trauma that's come from other places in life, which are just more unfortunate situations that have manifested themselves and developed into the thoughts that maybe it was something extraterrestrial that did it. The problem with that is if you're discussing with someone, like, you're going to get yourself in an argument if you turn around to someone and say, look, I'm not 100% convinced that you've been like whizzed to a spaceship and then had like cum sucked out of you, and then stuck back on the ground to be a bit crude about it, because that's going to make people angry because you are attacking something that they have a real hold on, and that's where I struggle with that sort of thing. Because I'm not in this to upset people. Do you know what I mean? Maybe aggravate people now and again, but not upset.
A little bit. Yeah. What is Hellier? You mean Hellier, Kentucky?
Yeah, I've seen Hellier. Hellier was a TV series.
A virus? Is it a virus?
No. It was about a goblin.
And it's in Kentucky, so that's actually we could have gone there.
Oh, I loved Hellier. Hellier was great. It was like a mockumentary style thing.
I don't know about mockumentary. Their paranormal documentary. They were taking it pretty seriously.
But that was the thing. I didn't know whether it was scripted or not. But I
don't think so.
But yeah, it was really good. Unfortunately, I never saw the end of it because Amazon Prime made it all pay for the last series. I was like, you can fuck off. I've been in this. You're not making me pay more for it now. So yeah. But no, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed what I saw of Hellier.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. I'm trying to remember where it is in Kentucky specifically. Place in Hellier, Kentucky, but what is that next to?
See,
yeah, we could have gone there. We definitely could have gone there.
Paige bringing up the great conversation topics at the minute. It was a Dr. Stephen Greer who said that a lot of traumatic abductions were not real ETs. Government, CIA staging them.
But why? I would love to have Greer on and ask him. I would love that. And when we get to 1 million subs, he'll probably come on. Probably not. We have done a lot of shit talking on here.
We've actually never said a bad word about Stephen Greer. We've not.
Ollie, we're not liars.
I've not. I genuinely have a shot.
Here's the thing.
Are you aware of the term guilt by association, Ollie?
Yeah, we said some shit, haven't we?
Yeah. Would he interpret things you have said as being less than favorable from his point of view?
I mean, we still have the memes. I've still not deleted them.
No, why would you? They're fantastic.
She said he only appears if you have 100,000 or more followers, as does any sort of real revenue only appears after that amount of followers.
Yeah. Strangely enough, those two things go together.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I never know what to think of Stephen Greer. I genuinely mean that. I don't.
I know what I'm watching tomorrow.
Part of me thinks both seasons free. Oh, right. Okay. That's amazing. I can go and finish it off. Thank you very much. The part of me thinks he's a snake oil salesman that makes so much noise about his documentaries and they have so little substance to them. I like that. Not the last one, but that one where he spent like a 2-hour documentary and then you come to the end and it was kind of just an advert for his app, his meditation app.
That's the whole thing was. Absolutely.
That fucking rubbed me up the wrong way, that one.
Did it? Yeah.
No, not like that.
Yeah.
No, not in a good way.
Yeah, I know what you mean in a bad way. Yeah.
But on the other hand,
they bought it.
But I do believe he came into this with a curious mind and good intentions.
Yes.
It's definitely what she said.
I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. So that's and I've probably softened more. I think I've softened more to Greer because I think he's I don't know if he's more. I don't know if he's telling the truth more now, or whether it's he seems to have lost favor. I almost feel like you know how you get the people, and we know some of them, like some YouTubers that lost favor with like the system. I got kind of cast aside. I think he might have been cast aside a little bit as well. He feels more like he's on the periphery rather than he's a main player now. He's a main player because he makes himself a main player.
Do you think this is when? I think it was you that sent me that originally, or you, Dave? I can't remember, but
my mind was blown when I saw that.
That's pretty important.
Yeah,
that's so important. I think. Absolutely. Sorry for covering you up, Lee.
No, it's fine. I mean, but when you've got
face,
when you've got the likes of Bigelow, Greer, is it Linda Moulton Howe?
Linda Moulton Howe and Bigelow.
She looks lovely.
Yeah, she looks smitten. Look how her head's turning into him.
I know.
Her body's leaning in feet by feet. You know,
the guy on the end as well, left to right. That Henry Diamond. I've seen him on stuff before, and I can't for the life of me remember who he is.
Corey looks like a nerd.
He does. But the thing is, he looks natty there as well. That didn't last long.
Yeah, it was before the TRT started.
Yeah, but I worry about any of them that's hanging out with Rockefellers. Come on, Yeah, see, that's how I felt when I first saw it as well. I was like, hang on a second, and
I've never seen that before.
I'm still amazed. Like, this channel is the only channel I've ever seen throw that photograph up.
Yeah, and that's why this channel isn't getting the funding the other ones get.
Well, that's fair.
I think the photo's hard to find.
Yeah, I think the Rockefeller money. I'm not interested in the Rockefeller money. The Rockefeller money is like the Soros money, and I think
I thought you were going to say it's like those missing kids, but
well, I think it involves going to islands. and I've no interest in the islands, not even for a day trip.
We should talk about on a Rockfin only show what I think the new island is. I think I know where it is. I think I know who owns it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely save that for Rockfin.
Yeah. we
or even if we get 100 subscribers, we never plug Rumble. Lee didn't even plug it at the beginning of the show. And he said
I tried. I really tried.
But you plugged Rockfin. We've already got 500 on Rockfin. We're fine.
You know, did we plug the Patreon?
Yes, I
haven't set up the OnlyFans yet, but that's coming. And no, that's not a joke. Did you like that double entendre? Anybody?
I loved it.
Crickets?
That was amazing.
So she said.
Yeah, obviously Ollie's done a much better job with his social media stuff as well. But if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, X, I am the Lee Stevens on all of the stuffs.
And I'll be honest, we had inspiration there to put us to put that next to my name.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
I don't advertise myself very well.
No, we're not. We're the worst like B-level influencers in the world.
We're B-level? When did we get to B-level?
When there's only an option between A and B.
Well, that's the thing. Though.
There's a lot more options, Lee.
We do this because we love the subject. Whatever the subject is, we just love talking. Like when we came and spent time with Dave.
It's a sexual experience.
Me and Lee,
very wet.
We pretty much spoke about weird shit the entire time.
No, that's true. We did
just in conversation because that's what we're into.
Mm-hmm. I look forward to you boys coming back out or me coming over there, whichever one happens first.
I've just noticed MH370 is trending on X right now.
Is it?
Holy. We have 94 people. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the podcast, share it on X or Twitter, send it to your mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely share out last night's show.
Oh yeah, I mean maybe not this show. That show was way better. Yeah. This is a little more normal.
This is like a bonus.
It's like a punishment. If you're into pain, it's a bonus. No, we just had to address it with Anonymous putting it out there, whatever that is, shortly after Kim.com. Those are big movements, and this is something that needs to be a bigger people than just us. I'm glad we've made a friend of Ashton. I think we have made a friend of Ashton. I like Ashton. I know we've had a couple subscribers that are not keen on our take on this. Mm-hmm. They'll live or they won't. It's really not our problem. It's really their problem. Yeah. So I think that's worthwhile. I think he needs to be on Rogan. He needs to be on bigger things.
Yeah, I tweeted that out before. Is how do we get him on Rogan? I think that'd be good. I've just noticed the Lou Reviews seems to be doing a hoax episode on.
I've never heard of that show.
Today, which on Ashton, which I think's a strange tactic when you given what's happened to the other two channels that have done that.
So Moody, Anonymous's official YouTube put together like a clipping of Ashton's and others' work and kind of streamlined it that we need to have this discussion and put it out to their 3.75 million followers. And it's caught fire on YouTube. It's caught fire on X and various other social media platforms. It's getting shared pretty heavily. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of like, there's things I would like to say, but I can't say because it'll get this video in trouble. But I question any numbers that come from particular platforms, if you know what I'm saying. Certain things don't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is what happened with Anonymous. See, look at this. Woohoo!
Cheers, Paige. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate that. Our goal is to make this a full-time job as opposed to a part-time hobby. Yeah. Well, I mean, at some point, man, you gotta set a goal. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen in 2024.
I'm saying
2024 is our year, man. Especially with Lee getting all this booking going. It's gonna be awesome.
I genuinely like sometimes I wonder with the stuff that goes on, the idea of manifestation, and the world seems to have gone really weird from like mid 2000s onwards, and it just seems to get stranger and stranger and stranger. And I think that lines up perfectly with the invention and adoption of social media. If we are, like the whole David Icke thing, as we are like limitless beings experiencing like through a 3D world that we can essentially affect with our minds. I wonder what that does to the simulation if we are essentially all of us together creating the world we live in. If you throw pop culture into the mix and entertainment, and then you give all of the humans that are digesting this content the ability to speak to each other at any moment in time with almost instantaneous communication, I wonder what that would do to the simulation.
Break the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or make it exciting as fuck. Do you know what I mean?
It's, it's that same thing, thought forms or tulpas or whatever that enough people believe. Now you have for instant belief worldwide. And if you can direct that, you can make things happen, right? Just make something happen. I get behind that. I don't know. We got new people on. I don't need to scare them with the weird things that I think. But as you guys get settled in a little more,
check out
you'll see. You'll understand. You'll understand.
There's a reason why we call him CIA Dave.
I swear I'm not in the CIA.
And we bought him a T-shirt over when we went to see him.
Yeah, you did. I've worn that T-shirt. I still wear that T-shirt. That was a good trip over. It'll be fun. I look forward to you guys coming back over and me going over there. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we need to do something. We need to inhabit the same area of the simulation at some point again next year.
Definitely.
Oh, you guys want to come back out here, huh?
Oh, you come here.
Yeah, I'd like to come there. That'd be fun. It'd have to be summertime though. Even then, I'd probably have to bring a jacket because you guys don't have real weather.
No, you will need a jacket or two.
You sounding like you're going to break out into song then, Lee.
I like the idea of Alien Addict the musical just for one episode.
I can't sing. Oh man. No, I'm glad Ashton's thing's picking up. I think it's interesting the people that are coming against it. Some people are they enjoy hate, they enjoy the vitriol, they enjoy anger, them being a troll, and that's how they get off. It's what makes them hard. It's the only way they can derive pleasure from life. There's a lot of that. There's some that I think people are absolutely being told what to do, and that their show and or income, some portion of it relies on them being compliant, right? Absolutely. I totally believe that. And then there's the rest of us who do this for shits and giggles because we're interested. This is really the best way we can talk to really cool people. People I would love. If I wasn't on this show with these guys, I would be already trying to message Ashton on my own. You know what I mean? I at one time went to different, maybe I still do. You'll never know. Comic-Con or paranormal type events or like UFO or Bigfoot type things. You get a VIP ticket and just start going talking to people. That's important. So this just facilitates that curiosity for me,
Before we wrap this up tonight, because I know it's not going to be like a full-on big 3-hour epic like it was yesterday. What did you guys think of the Grush Rogan thing? Because we're actually not really going to get a chance to speak about that together on a show while it's relevant, unless we do it right now.
I loved it.
Did you? Well, I've got a clip to play here. I haven't watched
it.
Well, I haven't watched this clip yet, and I'm interested to see what it is because someone's put a clip of Rogan out saying Rogan is doubting Dave Grush with another guest on of like whoever his latest guest was on the show. So yeah, we might as well.
The thing is, he didn't express any doubt on that show.
No. So we might as well.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's get a live reaction.
Yeah, it's only like a minute or something like that.
So hard.
UFO whistleblower that testified in front of Congress.
Yeah,
it's hard to say, man. The thing about it is, I believe he's telling the truth as far as what he's experienced and the documents that he uncovered and the people that he talked to. But how do you know whether or not they're just using him as a useful idiot to just get out some silly story because they're covering up for the fact that there's some very advanced drone system that the United States government has that trying to keep under wraps?
Right.
It might be both. I think it's probably both things. David Grush is that UFO whistleblower that testified in front of Congress.
Interesting. Interesting, especially when you consider the stuff I've been looking at as far as like.
You have to send me that link. That's a good intro at some point.
I tell you what, I think it's interesting that he just referred to David Grush as a useful idiot.
That's how I refer to him.
No, but that's not like, I mean, Rogan's usually a bit more tactful with guests than that.
Sometimes.
I don't. Did he mean? I don't think he meant it as if to say he thinks David Grush is an idiot.
Jimmy, bring up that video of a bear wrestling a UFO.
We're still interested in getting a producer out there for anyone who would like to be our voluntary producer that you won't get paid for and will demand far too much work from you.
An intern might be
an intern that no one ever sees or hears about, nor will we ever mention.
But we won't murder you.
Oh no, let's not make promises. Yeah, let's see how things go. I'm talking to you, Moody. But yeah, man.
Do you think he doesn't believe? Do you think he does genuinely? That's what he believes. He believes David Grush, but at the same time, he thinks people have been speaking in his ear. They've given him this information, and he's just gone with it.
To tie it.
That's what David Grush is saying.
Yeah. Tie it in with what we've been talking about for the last couple of episodes of this show. I would really like to know what Joe Rogan thinks about MH370.
He must have seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you imagine the amount of times he's been tagged in it?
I can't.
But the thing is, if you're talking about like secret drone technology that you might want to use aliens to explain away, that's it. Like if that's human technology when we're zapping planes out of existence, that's exactly the type of technology that you would want to disguise by saying like, "Oh, it's space people. It's the space people."
They're not even owning it though. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's if they have that level of technology and understanding, they have broken away from civilization. We are not the same. We are not the same. And you know who that puts in a very good light? Stephen Greer. He's been saying that this whole time.
Yep.
He's been saying that this whole time.
Yeah. I mean, and that could be we said before about the why would you want to why would you pretend to abduct people? Yeah. See, this is why he won't come on the show.
Well, because we show his beautiful body.
Put it back up, Ollie. Put it back up. Look at that guy. He's taking care of himself, man.
He looks amazing.
There's nothing wrong other than his puffy nipples, which is just the TRT.
I don't know what he's doing at like that party, but you know
what he's doing at the party. We all know what he's doing at that party. Yeah,
he's not picking up.
He's talking to aliens.
That's disgusting. They are not thinking of the environment.
That's every liberal hippie that I know.
You've thrown me with Greer.
Sorry.
Yeah, put it back up, Ollie. It'll jog his memory.
Oh,
That's why he doesn't come on the show.
he's too hot. Greer's to Greer. The
He's a sexy man. He's a sexy man.
hashtag queer for Greer.
Yes. Yes. If you're on this show right now and you tweet hashtag queer for Greer, hashtag Stephen Greer, what's the name of his process that he does, whatever that is, hashtag that. We need to get this going, guys.
I believe his process is called e-commerce and making money,
especially like these. Middle one's my favorite.
The middle one is spectacular.
I love that one.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're done. But yeah, sorry. What I was what I was going to say before I derailed myself.
He's in great shape.
He is in great shape. Yeah. If you wanted to create the like the illusion of space people to cover up for secret technology, creating with said technology, creating the idea of alien abductions is a really good way to get that into the public zeitgeist.
Absolutely.
Queer for Greer.
Can we not start things like that? Before you know it, we're being called all sorts of names.
What's wrong with that? We got a man crush on Greer.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. And it's already in the chat. The hashtag exists.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag queer for Greer.
Don't forget, it's not a slur anymore, that word.
No. What's wrong with that? Yeah. I don't know why it ever was. I got a few others that are, but we'll save that for a different show. Yeah, man, that was it. We got 97 people. Please hit the like. Please share. Yeah. Please go to X and go with the hashtag queer for Greer.
Thank you to all the new faces as well. You know, like the page we saw yesterday. I can't remember seeing Paul Robinson, John down the bottom. Who else we got? Martin Wright. I don't remember seeing before. Marshmallow, Silver Stargazer. There's who is this? There's so John Carpenter, Joshua Carpenter. John Carpenter made Nightmares. There's so many people that I'm not used to seeing.
FOR or 4 is either one of those are acceptable.
If you do want to help the channel out, though, you can like tweet some of these shows out, especially yesterday's shows. We want to get that even higher. Get that out there with hashtag MH370, MH370x. If you really want to help the channel out, that's what really helps out. Thumbs up and stuff like that. Yes,
it's huge. And go out there and
helps Ashton as well.
Helps Ashton. Yeah, support Ashton out there, man. I mean, honestly, he's kicking ass and snatching souls. They did that Twitter Spaces, and the Dorian and the other dude from Carmen, they were on their back heels. So I don't know. I'd say let's chip in and make sure he's got support. But he's kicking. He is ripping throats out there.
I've also linked his YouTube channel in the description of this video, so go check him out.
I have a feeling all our new subscribers know where that YouTube channel is, Ollie, but that's a good
probably move. Yeah, maybe somebody might be just watching this, just clicked on it, every little helps, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, we have 98 people on a Saturday. It'd be great if you all hit the like.
We never do a Saturday show.
No, we don't.
It's got more views than a Friday show. Normal Friday show.
It's Friday. Well, maybe we can like hang out to something we could start doing on a Saturday. I'd be down for doing some more impromptu hangouts when we're all free.
Well,
we need to do it.
We
need to do a Twitter space. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about Twitter Spaces. I've never really. I don't.
That's just because you're afraid of something new. I've listened to them. They're fucking great. You get speakers you can designate. Not everyone can speak if you don't want them to. And then we have the conversation between us, and it's one at a time. You hold your hand up, It's not just shouting over each other. A little bit of order. Yeah. Be fun. It'll be fun.
I'm
Dave,
game.
known to his girlfriends as the Sandpaper Schlong Man or the Break-In Man.
What am I missing here? This sounds like something I should be involved in. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Should we kick this pig and get out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow, people. Just before we go.
Yeah, that show's going to be great. And genuinely,
It's gonna be awesome.
You will not be disappointed by Paul Stubbs. He fucking
his channel's
brings
fantastic.
Nothing but fire. It's going to be great.
I'm really I've been looking forward to this for a while. Since you like, hey, I got them. I'm like, hell yes.
Yeah, genuinely, like from when as soon as I heard him on a podcast, I was like, I need to find this guy, and I kept trying to message him in his comment section on his videos. I couldn't get hold of him. I was looking for him on social media channels. I couldn't find it. I eventually found out that he had a Telegram that he runs, and I managed to contact him through the Telegram. And I put considerable effort into trying to find this guest. So it's a show I'm really, really excited about.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
It's going to be fantastic. And for all the new people, thank you for watching. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Don't forget Queer for Greer. Let's make that happen.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
I think I'm entitled. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom.
Did you order the code red?
I did the job. Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did.
The new people don't realize we do like this little outro-y talky bit.
The Queer for Greer is going to get us sued, but I don't care because I think it's fucking hilarious.
Maybe
and we will raw dog the shit out of that guy. I don't care.
Do you know? I just went on my Twitter to post something, and I clicked on my profile, and I feel so stupid because I just laughed at my own bio because I forgot I changed it. I forgot I changed my bio to host of Alien Addict, qualified to deliver peer-reviewed zingers, alt media's most unsuccessful diversity hire.
Yeah, you hadn't been doing great for us. Going in the rear for Greer. That's right, Moody Mongol. Going in the rear for Greer. Hashtag going rear for